keep the lie alive for this episode is be aware of scammers. Be aware of scammers. And I'm not talking about scammers that you obviously see coming. Like, oh yeah, this dude is a scammer. I'm talking about people being scammers in the forms of having certain jobs or make-believe skill that they're scamming you on in order to run your life or help contribute to your life. There are jobs out there where the requirement is literally to take a 3-hour course and pay $200, and all of a sudden they're certified, medical certified, mastery certified, doctorate certified. And these certifications don't benefit the worlds of humanity, but they get to sit down and talk to real people. For instance, like if you had a job such as like, I forget exactly what they called this. I believe they called it, and I don't want to offend anybody, but I got to keep it honest with you because it's going to a bigger point. I think the job is called Simbas or something like that, a Simba facilitator. And what that means is basically you are presenting different ways to save your marriage before it gets to divorce. So there's like an assessment that a facilitator does with these people, and this is what they do to have the fancy name. But the people that's actually doing it, they're not married. They don't come from experience of what they can give in after an assessment. They have their own agenda. These people don't even have their life together. They can't even keep their body together. So you're going to take advice of your life from people that have one, an agenda, and two, don't even have this shit halfway together. Can't even pay their own bills. Can't even keep their health in check. Don't even have a healthy relationship to speak on to even give you perspective to deal with. Be aware of the scammers, and these scammers come in many different forms, thus and such as I just laid. So be aware of it because they pop up, and it's just not in those type of jobs. They also people who are medical assistants. And I'm not saying all medical assistants. I'm saying that there are people in these fields that because people hear the name and then they give their assessment or their so-called opinion based on their knowledge. And it's not based on knowledge. It's grounded in feeling. It's grounded in their own agenda. Because then when you look at their life, you're like, damn, you don't even got your shit together and you trying to give me advice on how to save my marriage. How many times you been married? Oh, I never been married. Oh, so you just got kids and you're not with none of the baby daddies. Oh, okay. That makes a whole lot of sense. You're not going to listen to a banker that doesn't have his own finances in order. You're not going to go to the doctor and are you going to go to a sick doctor? If a doctor's sitting there coughing, wheezing, and he like, yo, we need to work on your ribs. You like, hell no. Yo, clear that phlegm in your throat up first before you holler at me, bro. So be aware of the scammers, because they come in all shapes and sizes, and they come in these fake jobs where it takes you to do a 2-hour video and $100 to get certified. But most people don't know it. And they come with their own agenda instead of real life experience, instead of having clinical work, instead of doing the true education that it would take for them to achieve such as that. Because you do have people who deserve that moniker, but most people that deserve that type of moniker are already real doctors that did the clinical work, that did their mastery, that did their PhD. Those are the people that are married, that speaks from experience. I just never understood people that talk about children and they never had kids. They like, oh yeah, my nieces and nephews, fucking, F your nieces and nephews. You could give them back, bro. At some point, you could give them back. When you have your own children, your own kids, then come and talk to me about any type of perspective about children. Because when you can't give them back, guess what? There's no book to this. So the fact that you have people that in these positions, instead of leaning on real research, instead of leaning on real education, they give you feeling base and agenda to be agents of chaos. So be aware of the scammers. Simple and plain, y'all. Yo, quick shout out. I seen Biggs. Is that Biggs in the building? Shout out to Biggs in the building. Patrick, disrespectful. Nah, I'm keeping it a buck, bro. I'm keeping it a buck. Shout out to Doe. You at living. You ain't okay. All right, so we're gonna miss that one because it was like a misword there. Not as important, but I'm not getting my hair done by no one here looking undone themselves. So you get my point, Paul. You get my point. Paying dues, credit hours, it's not family. You ready? I need a company. Okay. Your screen is so effing clean, bro. Somebody had to tell you because my God. Appreciate that for all that's worth. Appreciate that. Hit them likes, hit the 100s, hit them likes, hit the 100s. Appreciate you being here and tapping in. But but this is very real, y'all. This is very real. That's why where it's coming from, it matters. And just because somebody has a position, when you do the research on their position and you ask questions, it's like, yo, like I remember I went through a situation in my own family and I simply asked the doctor in my family, I said, how many children do you have, man? She was like, I don't have any. So how do you do that? How do you give advice about children, about family, and you don't got none? How do you do that? So y'all are typing in the chat my point. You're not gonna go to somebody to get your hair done and their hair is undone. You're not gonna go to a sick doctor. Y'all get my point. You see what I'm saying? So I agree. It's more than that. That's a fact. That's a fact. So beware of the scammers because they pop up with these the titles that sound amazing. Like, oh, word, what's that? And then you're like, oh, what was the qualifications? Oh, and this is what you do. Oh, and this is the effect of your real life and real relationships. Oh. So be very aware of the scammer. Yo, y'all been amazing as always. I appreciate y'all tapping in.